this computer. Excellent. All right. Hi, everybody. This is the Summer Book Club group, another director focus group. We are using the coaching habit, Say Less, Ask More, and Change the Way You Lead Forever by Michael Bungay Stainer. It's a Wall Street Journal bestseller. So what did you think? So, I mean, you know, first impressions.
I have a lot of habits to change.
Yeah. Okay. Name one, Pam.
Time structure.
Time structure. And what do you mean by that?
So I used to be really good with my office hours and how I would go about things. And maybe because it's summer, I feel the disarray of it because the kids being home and every place I have to take them. So I've kind of faltered, and I feel like I've let my hours become optional.
Okay.
And not the flexible that it needs to be. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I feel like we are not idle this summer.
Uh-huh.
So I need to, you know, get back on the.
Okay. Do your things happen all day long or mostly in the afternoon and evening?
It's morning and then late afternoon, and then I leave for shows. So I got a couple hours in there. I just need to restructure.
Okay.
And as soon as I restructure, the kids go back to school so I can revert. So, and I have to be honest, every summer I say, okay, this is my path. And then I don't follow it unless I should.
All right. How about getting up an hour earlier? Would that
I could definitely do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which means going to bed an hour earlier too.
Yeah. And that's where I struggle.
Are you a late nighter?
I am. Darn it.
Well, then stay up late. And I remember I used to pull what I called a long nighter, not an all nighter, but a long nighter once a month in my office. I used to get everybody to bed. You guys may remember me saying this. And I would go up in my office at about 10 o'clock with my favorite beverage, depending on how long I needed to be up, whether it was coffee or wine, right?
Right.
And then I would just attack my desk, attack post packets, attack computer stuff. I would do office stuff, anything that didn't involve a phone call. And what worked really, really well about that is there was absolutely no interruptions. There was zero interruptions. Right. So what I got done in those 2 hours after everybody was to bed and there was no phone calls, and I wouldn't allow myself to go online or do anything until I got X, Y, and Z done, you know, because you can get sucked into Facebook and all the different stuff. So anyway, that really helped me because I'm not an organized person. If you'd see my desk right now and you'd see Barb's desk right now, you would laugh hysterically. I got all these piles, you know, and Barb's completely clear, you know, she'll be in a little bit, but it's just something that's my brain. It's my brain on steroids, I guess. But it's just how I work, unfortunately. But, okay, any other impressions? Thanks, Pam, for sharing that. I appreciate it. Any other impressions right off the bat?
I like the book so far. I read it while I was at camp, so I feel like I need to kind of reread it.
Okay.
You know, and a lot of it doesn't stay in my brain. But I have a highlighter, so I'm going to try to, you know, highlight things. And I'm looking forward to it because I'm a wimpy coach, as we have been taught in the LEAD program. And it's hard for me to ask questions. It's like my brain doesn't go there first, you know, the first thought when I hear somebody, you know, say something to me. I can't get bookings or something. I kind of just jump in with, well, have you tried? Try this. So this works for me, instead of just asking a question and then shutting up. So
you're a fixer.
I am kind of a fixer, yes.
Yeah, I'm a fixer too.
Well, and I still have a fairly new team, and you know, I do have coaching calls with about 8 of my team members.
That's
and
awesome.
They're about, you know, still in their 90 days. So I'm just really trying to get them a good foothold and You know, I know on our last call, we kind of talked a little bit about role playing, and I don't really role play with them, but they're virtual. So I'm in their parties with them. So I can private message them, you know, you should really, you know, say this to so-and-so, or, you know, have you tried this? So I'm kind of a hand holder for a while, but then I want to be like, okay, now it's time to let go a little bit and let you figure things out yourselves.
Good, good. All right, who do we have down here? Who is 407-221?
That's Chris Kilby.
Chris Kilby, okay. Let me rename you Chris Kilby.
I was trying to get in on the computer and the screen is up, but I couldn't it wasn't connecting. So I'm not sure what's happened.
Okay.
I'm just seeing myself, which is not pretty because I worked out and then I fixed the fence.
No, it's no problem. It's no problem. Yep. So we're talking about this. Everyone knows that managers and leaders need to coach their people. And you know, everybody has different personalities, you guys. So don't beat yourself up too bad that you haven't done it this way in a long time. It's just another way. Because some people do need hand holding, and some people really want to just communicate. Like I'm finding a lot of the younger people, they just want to communicate by text. They don't want that one-on-one time. And with what the company is doing, I think that we can use that. Are all you guys using that one page that the company has that mirrors one side is what the company is doing all through the first 90 days, and the other side is, does everybody know about that page? I'm trying to think of what the heck they call it.
Sorry.
Let me go into here and see if I can screen share it. It's a really good page, and if somebody knows what the name of it is, that's great. Go ahead.
No, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I can.
I'll look for it.
It's the touch point guide. Nancy.
There you go.
Oh,
Touch point guide. Let's see.
I find that one very, very helpful. And I tell my new people, you know, home office is going to send you things to do. I'm going to talk to you and tell you things to do. And I kind of use it as a check, you know, I kind of go through and check it off.
Yep. I love our website. Nah.
Are you being facetious?
Yes. 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 Come on. All right. Anyway.
Do you want me to pull it up, Nancy Jo?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Because I have it on my screen.
Oh, you have it on your screen?
Yeah,
all right.
You want to know where it is, Nancy Jo?
It's under Leader Resource Center, isn't it?
Yep, under Lead the Way.
Okay. Yep. I know where it's at. It's just getting to it.
How's that?
Go ahead. Perfect. Perfect.
I was like, oh, here it is.
There it is. Awesome. Okay, so what I love about this is, you know, what Pampered Chef is sending them, and here's what you guys can do, and here's what you can teach your team. I know you guys are probably already always all doing this, but this is a great way to teach your team and also let your brand new people know that the company is telling us what to do. They don't have to make it up themselves. You know, there's a road to walk, and they can walk it when it comes to coaching. All right. And it's just really good. It's really good. Has everybody seen this? Let me see. Is everybody using it? You're not? Okay. It's really good.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
Trying to get it all to work.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's really a good because it just gives you simple things to do, and again, they're touch points, and I think it goes right along with what this book is saying about, you know, going through and touching them, and you know, those 10-minute phone calls, they're not, I really can, Sherry, can you go to the first page again?
Yep.
They're not 45-minute phone calls, you know, and just ask them for 15 minutes. And you don't even have to like conduct coaching call number 1. You can do that over a couple of days. It doesn't, can I have 15 minutes of time tomorrow morning and 15 minutes of time the next day? Because a lot of people don't have 45 minutes to sit down. So, and we really want to keep saying, did you watch this? Did you do this? Okay. And so it's Touch Point Guide, and it's right in the training and resources. So it's there. Okay. And I should keep it right on my desktop too, Sherry. That's really smart. That's really smart. Because you can refer to it. And the other thing you can do is someone taught me to put these in plastic sheet protectors using an erasable marker.
Right.
You can put the people's names next to them of where they're at. And when you've done the call, you can scratch it out or, erase it. So you've done that. And it's a really good way, like you say, you're working with 8 people. That's a really great way to keep track of it all and have those discussions with them. So it's just a simple way, just with a little erasable marker. Anybody else using this that wants to share about this? Go ahead, Sarah.
I'm not using it that way, but what I have found has been working fairly well is I handhold, but I don't do.
Okay.
So what I'm doing instead is I'm asking them, I'm focusing on what's your next step? And that's the big question I'll ask right now. So that way, if they're stating what they want to do next, and I'm not saying, here's what you want to do next. I might say, what classes have you taken in Pampered Chef University? I might do that kind of stuff, but I'm not necessarily, because the emails from home office walk them through all of that. But instead, what I'm helping with those kind of questions is keeping them on track, but yet letting them work at their own pace. Because, I remember when good grief, 20 years ago, we had 2 months for the first 60 days. And quite frankly, I think I would be glad if the company went back to that, because they need to learn. And those first few shows are learning, and they can earn, but then they really earn once they have learned. So anyway. Well,
they really have 90 days.
I know that, but I mean, like for bonuses, there's bonuses in the first 30 days that they may or may not be. And I don't know what the statistics are, and that's okay. I'd rather be consistent in the pace and slow than to have bursts of stuff and burn out.
Right. So here's a little feedback on that, Sarah. 2 things. Our sales party average is double what it was 20 years ago. Okay. Right. So they're getting there a lot sooner. They're only having to do pardon me?
Product price is also higher.
Right. So they're getting there in basically 2 shows.
Oh, yeah.
Into 2 shows or 3 shows, depending on if they're doing virtual or not. So them getting there. The other thing we have found is if people aren't successful right out of the gate, they're gone. They don't take the 60 or 90 days. They're just gone. If the younger people need to be immediately successful. So letting you know that, they don't want to wait for success. They want to do it faster now. And that's why a lot of people that are really having these incredible recruiting numbers, what they're doing, first thing that they're doing when they sign somebody up is they're sharing their outline for their virtual party and having them set up anywhere from 2 to 4 virtual parties before they even get their kit. Sherry, are you doing that?
That is what I do. Well, I schedule out their first party for them. And so they just have to sit back and do all the interaction and keep track of everything. And but I really encourage them that we're not signing up until you have parties scheduled.
Okay.
And then, because, as soon as they do one virtual party, I want them, if they're going to just do virtual, I want them to be starting, the next one and have the next one and keep booking. So I try to really get them to start strong. Repetition is going to help. There's a lot to learn when you're doing a virtual party. Back in the day, a cooking show was a cooking show, and there wasn't too much computer technology, items that you had to learn. And now there's a lot to learn for some people.
Do you get, when you set up that show, do they have that outline then?
The only way they have that outline is if I don't have very many that actually join CinchShare, so I'm not really sharing it that way, but if they can copy and paste it from, that way, but I don't send them a Word document or anything like that.
Okay.
But usually my new consultants have been from a party, from two parties. They've been in a few, then they've done their own, and then so there's a lot for them to pull from.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I'm just, and then just teaching them how to change the certain stuff,
right,
just so that you don't end up in Facebook jail. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing people do for the virtual people. And then for the live people, having them come to 1 to 2 parties with you is really what they're doing. And I don't know anybody that's going to people's first parties anymore. Are you guys doing that?
No.
Yeah. So they're having them come to, I'm having people come to mine. People are having people come to theirs, and experiencing, if they didn't come from a show, experiencing the show, because what we found, virtual is wonderful, but they have to do a lot more virtual shows than they have to do live cooking shows. The live cooking shows, you guys, the numbers have been off the charts with you see all the people that are getting $1,000, $2,000 shows. They are just really, I think while the experiences are less, not as many people are having as many live cooking shows. When they have them, they're off the charts. So people are making awesome money every time they walk out for that 3 hours. So that speaks to me with people want experiences too. Not only do they want to stay home and enjoy it at their house, there's a place for that, but people are wanting experiences too. And I know around my house, and I think I even said this last month, I was on not vacation. I was working in 3 different areas. I had a couple days vacation in there too, but I was working in 3 different parts of the country, and we tried to do a cooking class in each one of those areas, and we couldn't get in. And most of them were booked for a month. So that says to me, we got to get on this cooking class thing if you're not on it. When you're coaching your people, what are some of the things that you're doing? What is this book? How has this book changed what you're doing? Or do you want to go through it page by page?
And I overread, but what I got out of it is really something that we've heard before is ask the question, shut up and let them answer. Mm-hmm. And to continually ask them questions instead of jumping in and trying to provide the answer. And I think for a lot of us, that's hard because we're more of a self-motivator and we're hunting down our answers instead of waiting for them to find us. Mm-hmm. So that, as I was reading and highlighting, I thought, yep, if I just shut up, it'd probably be better. But that's what I've gleaned from it. Is building that as the habit.
I am a very bad habit.
My husband had the book. I went and bought it and left it on the counter. He goes, I got one. I was like, okay.
Nice. Good. Yes, we can unshare the screen. Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Not everybody knows that that's there. And especially our consultants don't know it's there. So make sure that, that they know that that's there, especially when they're recruiting. Okay. Thanks, Sherry, for having that right at your fingertips. And boy, this spoke to me, you guys. You're probably not getting very effective coaching, and you're probably not delivering very effective coaching. And I thought, oh, did anybody go, oh, that's probably me. I'm not getting any coaching, unfortunately, and haven't in 32 years. So forgive me. I'll ask forgiveness right up front. But I do really keep trying, you're already committed to being helpful, and that hasn't led to your coaching more often. So let me ask you this, what does work for you guys? I had weekly conversations with you guys. I had bi-weekly, I had monthly. What do you want, and what do you think your people want?
I'm wondering if that is the best approach. And the reason I say that is because in the typical workforce, a person isn't hired into a position, whatever kind of position that may be, and then said, whenever you want training, we've got it here for you. Here's your desk, here's your computer. You just learn as you go, and we'll just be right over here. So when you're ready to learn more, it doesn't work that way. They train you on things so that you can accomplish what your job needs to be. So I'm not sure that we'll just train whenever you want always works. And so I do think that keeping in, and of course the difference is that we are independent consultants rather than hired by the company. We said, hey, we volunteer, we purchased a kit, we want to do this. But then, because we still work in the mentality of what a traditional work position may be, I think there's still a part of that routine. So I'm glad that Pamper Chef sends out those emails, because it does still fit the mindset that this is the next step. This is the next step. If you want to increase your skills in this business that you have chosen to step into, this is the next step to take. And I mean, that's just a mindset that we face. And so I really wonder if the whole, I don't know, because we're independent. We're like, well, that doesn't work for me. I can only do every other week, or I can only do I only really want to be pushed once a month.
Right. Well, and here's another option that I want to give you guys. Because, I'm here to do what you want. All right. I really am. I'm available probably too often. Paula Brackner has a Monday morning director meet, is what she calls it. And for some days, some Mondays, it's a half an hour. Sometimes it goes an hour and a half. I mean, just depends on what her directors are discussing. So every Monday, and she doesn't plan training. It's a discussion group of what's going on in people's businesses, what's working, if they're having questions, if they're come up across an obstacle, and whoever gets on, gets on. All right. So is that something that, Sarah, to your point of only once a month touching base or being accountable, it's really not accountability. It's more of a, it's more of a learning thing, but it could be fun. It could be accountable. It could be, I'm going to book 2 shows by next week, or I'm going to, look for my next recruit and we can celebrate with each other. What do you guys want?
I'm working through some things myself. This past year has been, I'm out of my groove. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
I'm with you.
I was out of the group. Excellence, close, but not achieved this year. So, first time, and I'm kind of like, I have to be okay with that because I can't beat myself up. Otherwise, I won't move forward.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Right.
So I was out of my groove, and I know it happens, especially people who've been in the business. The longer they are, sometimes the more they can get out of that consistency. So I don't know. I'm redefining some things, and I actually looked at a full-time job.
I know you said you did.
In radio advertising.
Okay.
And I was offered the position.
Okay.
But I ended up turning it down. I was really conflicted on whether or not to do that. I turned it down because I have so many other things. My biggest thing was concern for time, and it was a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been fine, but what it was going to require was going to take me away from things that my availability, number one, to the things that I offer as far as support for my team and some other things. And I realized it clicked at this point and said, because one of the things I haven't done very well is calls.
Okay.
I felt kind of like, who do I call? I don't even know who to call because the web-based stuff seems a little bit not as easy to manage who has been called. Whenever you go into your contacts, it's always, eighth or whatever. So what I finally did was I actually ended up going to my contacts and choosing my host, organized them by who has no email. And then I exported my host over to an Excel spreadsheet so I can print 10 pages at a time and mark off and delete people from my contact list. If there's no email address and the phone number is bad, they get removed. And
Sure.
so I'm working through that. It's only a page a day, but I'm calling, 20 people, and 90% of them are bad phone numbers, but I'm making some contacts, and I've started making some positive contacts. I mean, I actually have a show on my calendar added as a result of that, and I'm only on page 6 of that.
Okay, good.
So,
It doesn't take that long because
no, it really doesn't. But what I figured was if I'm going to make connections, I want to make phone calls and pound the pavement to build up my client base, my account base for radio advertising, then if I will do that same effort or even a portion of that effort for myself, I will be back up where I need to be business-wise. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, that's awesome, Sharon. That's awesome, Sarah. So
Good for you. That's awesome.
yeah. So someone told me that when you text someone first and say, "Hey, Sarah, I'm going to call you in a few minutes. I've got something really exciting to share with you."
If you have a cell phone number. I don't have cell phone numbers. I mean, I've got 20 years of contacts.
Right.
Some of these are hosts that, I wasn't as good at getting email addresses, or email was not something that was used a lot back in the day. So until we started really getting email addresses, I just printed 10 pages of 20 names each. It's at least 20 names, 10 pages. And I haven't even reached the point of in my contacts. I think if I have another 20 at least, or another 10 at least, where I have no email addresses for these people.
Okay.
So I don't have cell phone numbers either because that wasn't a big thing 20 years ago.
Right.
Like it is.
And so let me ask you this, is that an effective use of your time?
Yes.
Going all the way back?
I'm not even, I have no idea how far back I'm going because the system doesn't tell me when they posted. Okay. I don't have access to the Peak Free program anymore. It's so old, my computer doesn't have the updates that it needs to access that, even open that program. So when I'm contacting them, if I actually get to leave a message or actually talk to somebody, I say, "Hey, it's been a while. This is Sarah with the Pampered Chef. I'm calling for 2 reasons. One, to let you know that I'm still a consultant because they haven't heard from me in 12 years, some of them. And the other thing too is I need to update your information. I need to update your email address. Could I get that from you?" And that's what I've been doing. And then if there's other information that I can update, then I'll say, "Well, do you still live at such and such address?" "Well, no, I've moved." "Well, can I update that also?" So I've been doing that. And for right now, I know what you'll say, but don't say it. So I'm just, If the conversation leads to having a party, if that comes up, then that topic is entered. But I've called for 2 main reasons. I'm still a consultant, and can I get your email address? Because if I can get their email address, then I can be more consistently and frequently in contact with them. They're hearing from me than what I was doing before, which was 0, because there's no email address.
I think you're doing it perfect. You're not going to hear anything else from me.
You want to, but I already told you, and I know what you would say. Everybody laughs because we've heard it.
No, that's not true, is it, guys?
No,
Never.
it's not. Never.
No, you're not supposed to agree with me.
I'm a massager. I don't go in for the fish. I play with it a little bit. So so I'm right with you, Sarah.
That's okay.
And I got Sherry right above you, and I keep going.
I know. I understand. Anyway,
But,
that's my approach. That's what I've been doing.
well, we want to hear how it's going, okay? I want to definitely
I'm
hear
only
how
on
it's going.
page 6.
All
So
right. All right.
I'm
So
committed.
going back to that Monday thing, the Monday phone call, I kind of think, that would be fun. Would be the wrong word, but it would be fun too. But in the sense of accountability, like if you need it, you can be there. It's kind of nice to know that there's a safety net if you're struggling or I get it, Sarah. Like you're like I'm thinking about a part-time job. I need to latch on to people. So and I know that puts more on you, Nancy Jo. But like Monday at 10 o'clock, everybody comes to you instead of you going to everybody. That kind of simplifies it a little bit. A little. But I mean, historically, you've always been there for me. But like when I started, I didn't have anybody to give me guidance to do that. So I made my own way. And with that, wrongly, of course, I anticipate and expect my team to make their own way because nobody held my hand. Nobody came to my show. Nobody, told me what to say. I went to trainings and I did the work. But it would be nice to just know that, Monday, I'm going to jump on here for maybe if I have a half an hour, I can listen to what everybody else is saying. There's great ideas. So I don't know.
Do you like it?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And I can't say that I would say I'm going to be there every Monday, but just to know that my net is there and I'm a week away from an answer or 2 days away.
Yeah. And you guys know you can call me at any time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I hope you know that. And seriously, this is what I do. So definitely, this is my life now. I have nobody saying, I need to go make dinner for somebody. So it's not happening. So you can call me whenever. And if I'm available, I am there for you guys because you know what? You are my life. So, and I thank God for you all the time. So,
and I didn't mean that because I know I could pick up the phone and call you at any time.
Oh, I know that. No, I'm not saying that you said anything wrong. Okay. I appreciate your honesty completely. And I'm glad to know that you can come to me. I know that there's a few people in my downline that have weak lineage. And so I'm thrilled that because of things like this, I can reach down and
and I appreciate it more than you know.
There. Yeah. And I can hopefully be there for you guys, but I am there all the time and you guys know it. I'm just a phone call away. Absolutely. 100%. But I do think that what you have to share with each other and help each other is even more valuable than what I can do because you guys are all out there, you're working. I'm one person and like Sarah said, you know what I'm going to say. That's really bad. You were mean. It's the truth though. It is absolutely the truth. And that's why we're not a prophet in our own town. That is why lots of times we have more impact on our people's people than we do on our own because you guys have heard, you know me and and it's true, but I am trying to change.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to grow.
I know. We're all like, we got our book.
Yeah, and I love this. You may find that you've become part of an over-dependent team. Now, I don't know about you, but I personally think it's the opposite. I don't think that people are dependent enough. What did you guys think about that circle 1? Do you think they're over dependent on you?
What page is that on?
No,
It's
I want
page 9.
I want them to be more dependent on me.
Okay. Communicate more when they're struggling. You know.
I'm going to offer the option that I don't want them to be dependent on me. I want them to communicate with me.
Correct.
I like that. I like that.
Because if they're
Yes.
dependent on me, then I'm doing their work. And I have never wanted to do that from the beginning. I did some grand opening parties, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't think that was, I thought that was like saying, hey, I'm going to hire you and I'm going to work your first 40 hours for you and you get the paycheck.
Right. I agree.
And I don't do that. I don't do that. Training, yes. Coaching, yes. All of that, communicating, absolutely. But doing their work, no.
Okay.
And that's been me. And maybe that's why I haven't qualified as many consultants. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Well, there's a balance. I think there's a fine balance. And I think that if we can find a balance, it will work. You know, it will work. Sherry, I know you have good communication with your people, right?
I do. And I do think in the beginning, they are very dependent on me to get them off on a good foot. And in their first 30 days, I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't have that large of a team that it's putting too much, you know, pressure on me or taking time away. But I think that I need to work towards weaning them off of that dependency, you know, the longer they are in the business.
Okay.
I think that, and I am trying now, even I won't answer my phone if it's not a scheduled phone call with them. I'll wait, I'll listen to the message, you know, when I'm done doing whatever it is that I'm doing. And just last night I had that happen. And by the time I called her back, she's like, oh, I got the answer. I figured it out. So I was like, okay, good. You know, you can, and that teaches them they can take care of what they need to on their own. So
good. And I think it's really important for your family that you create that, that sense of work hours, that I'm available to your team at this time. I was really, really good at that. I have to say at 4:00, my office work was done. My people called me during the day. They were very respectful about not calling on weekends. And because I just wasn't available. I mean, I did that really well. And I think that's part of the reason I've been here for so long is because I did do that part right. At this point in my life, when I say that I'm available a lot, I am, because my kids are grown and the husband is gone. So it's okay. It's all right. And if I am in the middle of something with friends or family, I don't answer the phone, you know, and you guys should know if SOS means I need you right now, you know what I mean? So just text me SOS and I will find a way. All right. But to make that call, but you guys have just been phenomenal. And through the years, it's been phenomenal. And I think that, that's why I've been able to keep that balance. So, so good. Anybody getting overwhelmed?
Morning, Bob. Morning, Nancy.
Anybody getting overwhelmed with things?
I have before.
Okay. You got it in balance then?
Well, I mean, getting a better balance. The feelings of being overwhelmed before would be connected with feeling like I had to be the one to move their feet forward, you know, or to guarantee that they qualified or anything like that. And so
yeah,
that would be contributing to the feelings of being overwhelmed.
Okay. How about, does anybody else feel disconnected? Did anybody relate to that part of the book? It's on page 10.
Uh-huh.
I know that I have felt disconnected, but I know some of that is when we started, there wasn't training. I didn't have coaching, training, kind of being mentored along. We just sort of figured it out and found a way and kind of got into those really good habits that unless there was a meeting, I really wasn't connected outside of that. So I know recently I saw Christy Anthony because Jamie Early is moving to Atlanta. And so they did like a surprise thing with Karen Howington. And we showed up and it was like no time had passed. And she's like, we haven't done this in forever. I said, I know. I've been out there like all by myself for 5 years because you left me. So, you know, for years, just kind of trudging along, figuring out what to do.
Yeah.
And how to try to stay connected.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm on a different path than everybody else. So,
yeah. Well, you got your team here. And
I know
you just came into my team at the beginning of the year. So you have to you got lots of sisters, 28 or 9 sisters. So, so there's lots of sisters here to support you and build, help each other build. And we're a family. So, I think it's really important that there are times when we all feel disconnected, I think. And like, I can't do this. I don't know what to do, you know, but what I think is important is that we're walking through these questions about how to build a habit, and in which we unpack the real science of change your behavior rather than relying on myths and lies that you find on the internet. That 21-day thing.
that was interesting.
Was that interesting? Yeah.
Yes.
And then the one key insight from reading Charles Dugg's book, The Power of Habit, is this: if you don't know what triggers the old behavior, you'll never change it.
Right.
Okay, I really liked that part. I know whether we're talking in our brain for that, you know, like, and I do a lot of that stuff, unfortunately. And so I need to retrain my brain, all right, on how to think of something. And you're going to laugh at me. I did a to-do list, feeling really overwhelmed about my house right now. So I did a to-do list, and I did on a plane, on a 4-hour plane ride, and literally went around my house with every single shelf, book, drawer, everything, because I really need to go through everything so I can get ready to move next year. And what I ended up doing was making a 6-page list of to-dos. Now, talk about overwhelming, but because I broke it down, literally drawer by drawer, I can do a drawer for 10 minutes and then mark it off, and that drawer is done. And I can, when I need to get up and move from my desk, I can go do something that's productive in my home and just get up and move for 10 minutes or move for 15 minutes. And it's because I have that list, I'm feeling like I'm getting things accomplished as well. And it took it all off my brain and put it here. And we can do the same thing in business. You know, Sarah, you can say, I want to make 4 phone calls every other hour. And then you do your 4 phone calls, and then you get your other stuff done, and then set a timer, you know, and you can feel accomplished because you're getting that done. And hold on one second. There is a key right up on the counter bar for the shed. This counter, it says home on it. Yeah. That's for, yeah, that's for the shed. Yeah. You can give that to me. Sorry, I got my sister and brother-in-law just came in to give me a hand with some yard work. They're staying for a couple days. Overwhelmed. But anyway, getting through those things, it's really made a difference for me, and it's pulled it off of my shoulders and put it onto paper. So if there's things that you want to do, if there's people you want to contact, put it on paper and then walk through the habit of 15 minutes an hour, or I have an hour to work today. What's first on my list to get done? Okay. But to do that and put it on paper, I think is really helpful, and figure your trigger of good habits and figure your trigger of bad habits. The double S, be short and specific.
When you're saying these things, make sure that you're saying page numbers too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Since we have the book that we're going through, otherwise I'm spending time flipping for the page and not seeing what you're saying.
Okay. Figure your trigger was on 19.
Yep, I got
19. That. Yeah. There's some really bad habits that I have that I'm trying to break. What is the trigger? Figure that, and then know when that trigger happens, that's what you need to battle. And I think if you define your new habit in abstract and slightly vague way, you won't get traction. If it takes too long to do, your big brain will find a way to hack your good intentions. I love that. Work at tiny habits. Define your new habit as a micro habit that needs to take less than 60 seconds to complete. A phone call needs to take less than 60 seconds. I was on the phone with, actually I put a video on Facebook of it was an admiral that talked about making your bed.
Oh,
I remember that one? Yep. I love that video. And he said the first thing you need to accomplish is something that is a life accomplishment. When I make my coffee, I empty my dishwasher. I try to go through and straighten my house at night, so when I wake up, it's not the first thing I look at and have to do. I can get to the things that I need to. I can go and do my devotional, and then while I'm having my coffee, and then get to work, and my house is kind of set. My bed is made, my dishwasher's empty. So I'm kind of ready for my day. You know what I mean? But those little things in my mind, that all needs to be done before 8:45 because I need to be at my desk by 9 o'clock. So those tiny little habits changed my life. Okay. And if you can, teach your people to do some of those things, to put their dishwasher on at night, or maybe if they're a full-time worker, they need to empty their dishwasher at night before they go to bed, so that, they may be putting on their makeup when they're having their coffee made, whatever. And then, working through this book, what were some of the things that spoke to you on pages, building a new habit, identifying the trigger of the new habit, the old habit? What spoke to you guys?
I know one of the things that I highlighted, I really like this. It says, think less about what your habit can do for you and more about how this new habit will help a person or people you care about. I really like.
Which page was that on?
It's 19.
19.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Right above figure your trigger.
Okay.
You have another call that starts here soon?
Pardon me?
You have another call that starts here soon?
No, we have about 8 or 10 minutes left.
Well, I only asked because Margie's on here.
No, Margie, did you get on late?
I did. I'm working today, so I'm just
Okay.
You're late.
Nope, I didn't. No, I just have the 2 calls today. All right. What else spoke to you guys?
Well, I underlined on page 24 in the first paragraph, halfway through, specifically the part where it starts after it says you're looking to accomplish through this book is to give less advice and show more curiosity. And I underlined that part. And then just a reinforcement on page 27, in the first paragraph, at the end of the first paragraph, I underlined, so shape the way you want to lead and build the right coaching habits.
Me too.
Okay, did anybody get to watch these videos?
I did.
I watched a few.
I did not.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I personally did not get to do that just because we've had some family stuff back to back, but I'm going to go back and catch up because I heard they're really good.
They are. I'm gonna watch them again, and they are very good. I'm not all the way through the book yet. How long are we doing this for several weeks, this book club?
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
Eight times every other week. We're going to meet for 8, right, Barb? Isn't
I
it?
think that's what you said, yeah.
There's 7
Questions.
there's 7 questions, and so the book is broken up into 8 parts.
Okay, I didn't think we were trying to cover it all right now.
No. Just
Want to make sure. I didn't read it all.
No.
I read the
Kickstarter
75.
question Up to page 35. Up to page.
I'm on page 82.
Are you? Good for you. No. Did you think we were doing the whole book today?
Well, I wasn't sure by the way you were talking at the beginning. I thought, well, I haven't read the whole thing.
No. I'm sorry. No, this is just we're going to meet 8 times every other week.
Okay.
So, no, I wouldn't do a whole book in one sitting. It wouldn't be fruitful.
So wait a minute here. Does that mean that our next call is the Tuesday right before conference?
Barb, when is, can you look on the calendar? Yeah.
That would be 2 weeks.
Yes, then it would be. So
that's good to know.
yes, we will send out the next call. I thought we put it out there.
We don't have it on the calendar until August, I think, Nancy.
We don't have it on the calendar till August? Okay.
The next one is scheduled August 14th.
August 14th.
That's what I have as well.
August 14th.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Okay, so we're
I
good.
think because of conference. Yeah.
Okay, I just need to make sure because
I think we were still going with the once a month.
Even
I don't think
for
you had-
8 months?
I don't think you had changed it.
Oh,
I
okay.
think maybe you divided it up into 3 to get the book through the summer. I know you're doing so many different things, but I think you divided it up into 3 calls.
I think that's about right because I have
Summer. We
I
haven't
remember.
scheduled September. It's going to
Okay.
be July, August, and September, but we haven't scheduled a September call yet.
Okay.
that's right.
All right. I got confused. All right. It's happened before. All right. I'm doing this. You know what it is? I'm doing this also with my personal team, and they are in every other week, aren't they?
I think they are.
Yes,
Yes,
that's what
right,
it
every
is.
other Tuesday,
Okay.
yep.
Had a brain freeze. Sorry. So we're going to have to catch up because I don't think everybody's at a third of the book. So I apologize. All right. So the Kickstart question or project is the content of the situation, the stuff that's being worked on. Have you ever thought work would be easy if it weren't for all these annoying people? If people would just answer their phone, my job would be so easy. You know, we have to try and give ourselves these little pep talks when we're feeling defeated, okay? And the thing that I have found that really helps me with phone calls, because I am a very verbal person, is texting first and saying, hey, do you have some time next hour that I can call you? I'm going to try and give you a call. It does 2 things. It says it's Nancy Joe when they see this number pop up if I'm not in their book. And it also says, you know, I need to get a hold of you. And I don't tell them why. All right. So that's really helped me with my phone calls. All right. Because I'm not a real good texter. I'm not a fast typist. And it's just not how I communicate. Okay. What did you all think about the Kickstart question? Projects, people, and patterns, putting the 3 Ps to use.
Okay, let me find that in my book.
What
Okay.
page is that? I remember
Page
reading.
43.
43.
Oh, let's see. I'm going to go back and do some more noting of things
Okay.
as far as. So
Well,
right
in coaching, how about let's talk coaching for performance versus coaching for development. I like yellowed that whole paragraph.
what page are
Page
you on?
40. Page 40.
Okay, that helps.
It said coaching for performance is about addressing and fixing a specific problem or challenge. It's putting out the fire or building up the fire or banking the fire. It's everyday stuff, and it's important and necessary. Coaching for development is about turning the focus from the issue to the person dealing with the issue and the person who's managing the fire. This conversation is more rare and significantly more powerful.
Yes, and that's the conversation that I have not felt confident in doing with my coaching for performance. Absolutely. And that's what I typically could do, no problem. But I haven't felt, I know it's important because I do that, but I haven't, and this book will help. I haven't finessed how I can approach them and help them, because I think that if I can help them with that part, the personal development, the performance will come.
Right.
But if all I do is try to put more icing on the cake, I haven't made the cake any tastier and help that out. And a lot of times, yeah, the icing helps the cake, but if the cake isn't any good, then, you know.
Do you think that revisiting their why and why they're doing this and reconnecting with that and giving them that they're coming up with the reason that they're doing it and then helping them find the solutions to their obstacles?
Well, I think that's definitely a part of it.
Yeah.
But I think that, I mean, like for me, one of the things that I think about is part of personal development is, what does your voice sound like? What do people hear when they hear your voice? Are they hearing somebody who's, you listen to some people and their voice sounds whiny.
Yeah.
And I hope mine doesn't. But, I try to think about that. But, some people, they do that. And everything they say, or they think they sound really positive, but everything they say is some kind of complaint about something. And then you think, I want to say, you want to know why your business is not growing?
Yeah.
You have you have a whining tone to your voice.
Right.
But I haven't gotten to the point where I can say that. But so I think personal development, the why is connected to that, but it goes deeper than that, because people get new jobs and they fall in love. This job is perfect, but they have not changed because nobody has said to them, have you seen this about yourself? Or, have you, there hasn't been anybody who has, I've been through coaching. I've been through personal coaching, and I've looked at a lot of things, and a lot of stuff is what's helped shape me, as well as the books that I read that talk about those things in our personal development stuff, and that contributes big time to the results that we get in our business.
Absolutely.
Posturing, all that kind of stuff. How do you hold yourself? How do you dress? Dressing for success. I think that one thing that we've lost a little bit is going a little bit too casual for the cooking parties. And I'm guilty. I'd be like, I'm wearing jeans and I'm not wearing tennis shoes, and I'm not wearing a t-shirt. I'm wearing a nice shirt and jeans, but I've changed that. And I've gone to wearing more business casual.
Yeah. Well, and I think it depends on the group you're in, Sarah.
Even then, because I think it's probably true that whether people realize it or not, the younger people don't care so much, but as they age up into the older group, whether they realize it or not, they do perceive that if a person is dressed casual, then they don't seem to be as serious about their business, even though they're talking about it being a full-time business, but they're like, I dress up for work, and they're not dressed up for work.
Right.
And they're wearing jeans.
Yeah.
I can't wear jeans to my work.
Yeah.
Or whatever that may be. And so I think there's a perception for the young people, no, they don't care. But the older people, and it's an age group, it's not what year they were born. I think it's an age group, and we do see with a little bit more respect people who seem to care a little bit more about their appearance. And yeah, I've seen people look nice, and for conference they do this, they wear blingy jeans or whatever. I've done that. But I think there is a much better acceptance of what we're saying when we dress up a little bit more.
Yeah. And I totally understand and agree. And the easiest way to experience that is go through the airport dressed in nice and with your makeup on and with your hair done, compared to the next time do it with jeans, no makeup, sweatpants, whatever. And you're treated completely different.
Yeah, there's more respect for you if you dressed up.
It's it's seriously, there's been times where I've had to be dressed on a plane because I'm walking off the plane and speaking immediately, and where I've been in a, little business suit or whatever, and or a nice jacket, and it's just amazing how you're treated differently. Absolutely. 100%. So you're right. You're right. I just think that one of the reasons, we never wore jeans before, but one of the reasons jeans have become more acceptable is to try and reach that younger group, because if they are in a dress or in a nice outfit all day, we want to let them know they can do this in the evening a little more casually and still be okay. So I just think...
But I wonder if that's true, or if we have said that that's true. So we're trying to, because I from what I've heard, they don't care. They don't care. It doesn't impress them if we're wearing jeans. It doesn't impress them if we are dressed business casual.
Uh-huh.
They're it's an age range that doesn't.
It might be, sir. It's
care so much about that. And so I think that we may be unintentionally shooting ourselves in the foot by doing that, and closing off a market of people that does care and would respect us more if we have, I'm just thoughts. So
right. Could be for sure. So we can, the 3 Ps, it says answers are closed rooms and questions are open doors that invite us in. And I know that we learn how to practice those things by asking questions and getting people to, answer, and keeping the conversation going through questions. So the 3 Ps, projects, people, and patterns. So what did you guys get out of that? That's page 43 and 44.
I like the fact that it talks about in the patterns that if you can notice and see where the patterns are going, you can change that so that you can have better conversations. So that if you're aware of it, because how many times you get on the phone and you chit chat for 10 minutes, now you got 3 to get something done.
Right.
Whereas you could have quickly notice your pattern, get past it, and make those 10-minute touch point calls instead of 20 minutes and we still didn't answer the question or didn't ask them, so what can I help you with? Where are things going well? Where, asking, get out of the bad pattern and start the newer, better pattern. Mm-hmm. Kind of what I picked up on.
Chris, is a really, really great way to do that is, I know we have a relationship and we want to catch up on the family, but let's get the business stuff done first so we can have some time to chat. And I'll often start out with that if I know that someone is like me and chatty Cathy. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we get to the reason we called. So let's do that first, and then we'll catch up with the families when we're done. How does that sound?
I like it.
And it always works. It always works. So then, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and one thing that I do is on my coaching calls, I do schedule them like one right after the other, and it's up to the consultant to call me. Mm-hmm. And so if the call goes, if we kind of take care of the business part and then we want to catch up, oh, my phone's ringing now, time's up, sorry, we'll catch up next week or whatever. So it makes it a little bit easier if you have them call you. You've got a quick out to get off that phone call.
Yep. And sometimes they forget and they don't, and then you can spend a few more minutes with that person.
Right.
Yeah. Rather than you getting off the phone and calling and they're not there. So now you're wasting valuable time with no one.
Right.
So good. So did anybody write build your new habit here?
I didn't actually fill that part out.
Okay.
I never do in books, quite frankly. Whenever they say write down blah blah, I don't.
No. Okay.
Mine's empty also.
All right. Well, there's your homework. All right. So start with this, and then what we'll do is we'll catch up next month.
Let us know where you want us to be, and
I'm sorry. I
That's
apologize.
And if there's anything in particular, if there's some points that you're going, you know what, I really would like to look at this, if we can, then we can be a little bit more,
Yeah.
pay close attention to blah, 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 or something.
Okay. Sounds good. And then we'll do August, September, and then October. Okay.
Okay.
And I will start those Monday coffees starting in the fall, starting in September. Okay. Because I know we have conference and people are finishing up with vacations and different things. So I'm thinking right after Labor Day. How does that sound?
That works.
Okay. So then you
What
guys.
time are you doing those coffees?
Well, what time would you guys like? Would you like it 9 a.m.?
I do a Bible study at 10 a.m. So I'm just saying.
All right. Does
Schedule on me. You schedule on what works best for you. If I get to participate, I get to participate. If I can't,
all right.
so
Do you like 9? That's 10 o'clock for the East Coast. What does that sound like for you, Cher?
It would be good with me most. It depends on. Will you be doing it every Monday?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That 10 o'clock Mondays are good for me.
Okay. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work. Okay.
and remind me, what's the focus of the coffee, Monday morning coffee?
It's just going to be sharing ideas, what's going on. We'll celebrate. If somebody shares something with me during the week, would you share that on the Monday morning coffee? And you know what? It's not an organized call. And Paula says that's the beauty of it, because all of you are sharing with each other your experiences from the last week. So it's really fresh. It's,
So this is directors only, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think it'd be directors only. Is that okay with everybody?
I'm fine with that. The reason I ask is because I just had a blip or a pop, whatever are you going to call it, an idea.
Okay.
I thought how cool it would be to maybe say, hey, I'm on a Zoom chat right now. We're sharing ideas. Would you like to join me? But it wouldn't be to my whole team. It would just be like some specific ones that I know would even be available.
Right.
So, and it wouldn't be all the time.
No, right. And we could, and you know what? It doesn't matter to me. It's just that if people are having issues with their consultants, and this would be the place to talk about it.
Oh no, I agree. And that might be, maybe that's an idea. It's not like you need anything else, but something where, I love the coffee
Concept.
Some kind of a concept like that. And I think that would be cool to have a place where we could be as directors, we're sharing ideas, but that consultants can get on and even just observe. They may not have anything to contribute to the conversation, but if they're hearing somebody, and we talked about this Saturday too, when somebody else says the same thing and they think, or if we start talking about personal development and
right.
what that has done for us, that's one way to kind of get other people thinking, you know what, maybe I really should start doing some personal development and not just business.
Right.
You know?
Right. And I got to see when these fall, when I had announced them. So if they're, I'll look at my calendar and make sure it's Monday morning. Is there a day that doesn't work for you guys?
Just do it. If I can, as far as what Paul's doing.
Like if I've already got Monday morning calls done, because of a couple of things already planned.
You know what I did, Nancy Jo? I don't know if it's something that you would even consider doing, but I did a Google Doc form that I sent out to my whole team.
Okay.
And I asked them questions like, would you be interested in a weekly coaching call? If we were to do a Zoom meeting, what night would be best for you? And just to try to cover as many people as I could with all my questions.
Okay.
And I was kind of surprised because some said no, they didn't want a coaching call, but yet they wanted me to hold them accountable when they weren't reaching their goals, or, I said, what were the top 3 areas you need help with? So, and then I've started sending that to my new consultants. So I
Okay.
can kind of get their information. You know, they can kind of think about it as opposed to me being on a call with them like, oh, is Mondays good for you? Oh, what about Tuesdays? You know, they can kind
Sure.
of take some time and that
Yeah,
way I
if
can,
you wouldn't mind sharing that, that would be great.
sure, I can send you the link and you can fill out my survey.
All right.
I don't know how else to share it.
Yeah. Does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I could just send you my link. You can pull it up and look at it. I don't know how else
Okay.
to share it.
That's the best way.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Okay.
And then can you copy it? Can I copy it?
No, you have to go in and create all of the new text boxes. I don't think there's any way for you to copy the whole.
Can you share it in Evernote?
I don't use Evernote.
But even if you do share in Evernote, you still can't. You still have to go in. My experience, anyway, I haven't learned. My experience is that you still have to go in and create your own Google form, but you can copy and paste and add text boxes and all that kind of thing.
All right.
I'll look. I'll go into it and see if there's a way to share it with you as opposed to sending
Okay.
it to you. I'll see.
I'm not as savvy.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and even if you put a little piece of paper in there, Sarah, you want to hear what your new habits are. And instead of,
It's not that I don't want to write in the book, Nancy Joe. It's that I don't know what to write in.
okay.
I don't do that kind of stuff.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for getting into this with me. I thought it's a really great concept. And I think if we can learn how to do it by asking questions and by
I know. I have this sitting on my desk right here.
what does it say?
I don't know. Can you see it? It says ask coaching. Ask 3 questions: who, what, why, where, when, and how. Don't use did you or do you.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much, you guys. God bless. And we'll see you at conference.
No.
Couple weeks. Oh, I know.
I'm
You're
so
you're
sad.
you're on vacation, aren't you?
It's my niece's wedding that weekend. I'm so sad.
Have to be there. Have to.
Sherry,
Yes.
We'll miss you.
you can add collaborators onto your document, and then I don't know if Nancy Jo could then go in and make a copy of it. Then I don't know.
Okay. Or I can make one and then make her a collaborator.
Awesome.
On the copied one, yeah.
Yeah. I'll help you out, Nancy Jo.
Thank you.
All right.
Yay. All right, guys. Be blessed.
All right. Thank you. You
We'll
too.
catch you up with conference share. We'll catch you up.
Okay. I know.
All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.